Hello folks, Dixie Railfan Productions is here, and welcome back to another railfanning video. Today I'm back to railfanning Lakeland, Florida. But first up we have Amtrak 41. This train is from Chicago to Miami. Locomotives number 337 and 14 are leading. Now, as I was about to say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The next train we would see would be Amtrak number 40, the northbound Floridian train from Miami to Chicago. Locomotives number 305 and 316 were leading. From the moment I tried to film 41, I was almost not prepared, so it took a little while for me to get ready. But for this time, when I caught 40, I was all prepared. The next train that came, I was also prepared for. The next train would be CSX M453, the southbound manifest train coming out of Waycross, Georgia, heading to Miami, Florida. The locomotive leading was actually very special, as it was number 537, the YN2 locomotive. These YN2s nowadays are starting to become extremely hard to find, as a lot of locomotives nowadays run in either YN3 or they can be heritage units as well. But anyways, the trailing locomotive would be number 3211. And I was actually fortunate enough to yet catch another YN2. Now, as soon as he was gone, the signal that he passed was actually red, and then eventually, as I turned around, it would eventually turn to yellow for some reason. But if anyone knows the reason why, please let me know in the comment sections down below. Then the next thing I know, the signal then changes to having no color. For some reason that's happening. But now that we have got that covered up, Amtrak 41 will finally return from Tampa and head to Lakeland and then south towards his final destination to Miami. But as you can see here in this background as of this point into making this video, it was actually raining cats and dogs and thundering somewhat. So because of this, in order to get the shots outside, I would unfortunately have no other choice but to put my phone into the phone case in order to protect it from getting completely wet. Now, believe it or not, as far as I know, water and electricity do not mix, which is why my phone had to be covered in order to get the shot. Otherwise, I would have had to get the train from inside without any cases on it. But I figured to get the shot outside, I would have to use this particular tool to help me get the train in rain. So I sincerely apologize if y'all don't like this part. This is the only other part available that I have into making to this video in the rain with 41 coming back. Just now, after Amtrak 41 has finally departed Lakeland after running hours behind schedule, the next train will come north. And also, another point I would like to point out is that it has finally started to stop raining, at least for a bit, but the ground was still pretty wet. And thankfully, because the rain was now completely gone, I was able to film without needing a single tool, just like this particular phone case. But anyways, the next train we would see would be CSX I-44, aka the northbound intermodal Tropicana Juice train coming out of Tampa and heading to Jacksonville. Although before he made it through this crossing, he had to eventually stop because there are particular reasons on why this happened. For starters, I would actually end up having a CSX employee coming into my view as he had to do some work, which basically had to do with the railroad crossing itself, especially with the gates and flashing lights, which mechanically broke down for some reason. To be particularly specific, that's the reason why he's here. so that way he can fix the gates and things will go back to normal and people can cross the crossing without any trouble at all. The other particular reason on why he actually had to stop was because there was something blocking the tracks. From what I was told, there was possibly like a wheel or a tire, leading to the reasoning being because there was a car stuck in the tracks, which is actually not the case. But this train had still had to stop, no matter what. Another one of the clues on why he had to stop would have to be because his signal turned to red for those reasons. So while he was stopped there for a little while, which by the way, the CSX employee told me that he would be stopped for a little while, I ended up having to chase Amtrak 40 coming back from Tampa. Now 40 I actually did manage to catch, just nearly missing him. As soon as 40 had left Lakeland, I would finally drive back to this location, and now we got the green signal for aisle 44, which meant that he finally got the clear signal. And at last, he was all good to go, and everything was turned to normal, at least for the train. And for the gates, they would eventually go back to normal as well. But leading this CSX aisle 44 train will be 3434, carrying the Tropicana juice cars. And this will be my last train of this video, which would then eventually wrap up today's video and conclude the railfanning adventures of Lakeland, Florida, before I head off to Chattanooga, Tennessee to TVRM to see Southern 4501 in Golden Green. So stay tuned for the video of 4501 when it comes up. Now anyways, if y'all enjoyed this video, please smash the like button down below. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments sections below. Subscribe for more content and turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when I return to TVRM to see Southern 4501 and Golden Green.